Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Welcome again, of course, back for another episode of Bodybuilding Daily, where we talk about all things hot topic and trending in the world of bodybuilding. And starting off with a news update and physique update, of course, just under 3 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, the 2023 Arnold Classic. Patrick Moore. Now, this is the first time we've seen him in quite a while get back on stage, coming out of Houston, Texas, it would seem. I'm excited about this physique update. He looks full. He looks like he's getting some conditioning in the shoulders and the chest. And that is going to be in contrast to the photo we're going to see at the very end of the video. And that is a picture of his back shot. And there has been some conversation over on NSP. Nick Miller was talking about how it could be like a flashback photo because he had like a Flashback Friday hashtag on it. Since then, he has removed the hashtag, so I don't think it is a troll on the fans. I think that it is genuinely his current shape. When we look at the back shots right here, I am worried there's not a lot of separation. There's not a lot of conditioning in these back shots here. Or at least this lat spread. And, you know, if he wants to be in that conversation, I don't think that this is going to be what he needs to bring to be in a conversation for possible top 6 finish. So appreciate the update from Patrick Moore, but it does worry me just a little bit. Of course, let me know your thoughts down below on Patrick Moore. Charles Griffin, a competitor that was going to be one of my favorites to see at the Arnold Classic, did announce that he was going to be pulling out, and I wanted to share a recent physique update that he shared on his Instagram. The emphasis of the post is pretty much saying 7 weeks post Olympia. He's sharing his weight around 258 pounds, and he said that he is on his health phase. So I'm assuming that he is slowly coming off of all of the variety of supplements that these pros have to take. He's getting the blood work done to see exactly where he's at. And then he can kind of adjust and he can plan for the 2023 season of where he wants to compete next. I'm hoping we get to see him maybe at the Legion in Nevada or at the Cali Pro. He could return there and do the Cali State Championships on the pro side, of course. But overall, I like what I'm seeing here. I think that he's looking phenomenal for being in a health phase. And, you know, like I said, you know, I really do hope that we get to see him earlier than later. A lot of the pros, they like to wait until the end of the year, and then they just smash in as many shows as they need to qualify for the Olympia. And that is a strategy, but it's not really my favorite strategy. But of course, happy to see Charles Griffin sharing some physique updates. Another very exciting physique update is Samson Dauda, and this was a back shot that he posted just yesterday. And this is the most complete physique update we've gotten from him. I'll show you the video of the second most recent physique update that he shared with us, and that was some front shots. But looking at these back shots, I'm very interested to see where he's going to place. I genuinely, ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely think it's going to be a battle between him and Nick Walker. We will talk about Big Ramy in just a second, and we will talk about my thoughts on his recent physique update and where he could place. But when we look at Samson Dauda, he's got the shape, he's got the structure. The flow is something like no one else we're going to see on the Arnold Classic stage. Somewhat reminiscent of a Cedric McMillan, RIP, but bigger. Cedric was always, he had a great flow, but not enough muscle to compete with some of the biggest guys on the stage. And then, of course, there was always the conditioning and the health factor that was also a big concern. So I'm happy to see that Samson is doing well and he's really growing. I mean, over the last year, you got to remember, he placed, 5th or 6th at last year's Arnold Classic, and then comes into the Mr. Olympia, his first one, and places top 6, I think is just phenomenal. He's looking really, really good. The hamstrings are pretty dug out here. And, I think the sky's the limit for Samson Dauda as we do creep into just under 3 weeks out. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to the Arnold Classic, definitely let me know. And of course, you can buy some cool merch over at bodybuildingnews.net. I will be dropping some new designs soon. So if you guys are interested in that, of course, message me for expedited shipping. And quickly covering the recent physique update from Big Ramy in comparison against Samson Dauda, I would like to see more conditioning. You don't really see the glutes, so you can't really tell how sharp he is. But from the back, nothing is really popping. It looks, it sounds crazy to say, but it looks kind of flat. And, for the next guy we're going to talk about, he does not look flat at all. We have the privilege, the pleasure of getting a really nice physique update from none other than Justin Rodriguez. Again, 3 weeks out, Arnold Classic. And I thought he looked really comparable to some of the other top guys we're going to be seeing at the Arnold Classic. And again, you have to remember, he placed second at prejudging at last year's Arnold Classic. And then, his placings dropped at finals where his peak wasn't as good. But Justin Rodriguez is definitely going to be in the conversation to do well here, among other people. But I think that he's been getting overlooked by some of the commentators like myself. So I wanted to show some love, and I wanted to plug it because I thought that this, or at least the last photo, that side chest shot was absolutely nutty. And I think that he's still going to be in the conversation for being, one of the better conditioned people. And that was a big critique from him last year, was that he wasn't showing up as in shape and that he was burnt out and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think so. I think he looks pretty good. Okay, and last but not least, our feature lady of the day is Michaela Aycock. Now, this is a phenomenal women's bodybuilder. And if we look at her competitive history, she did the Olympia, where she placed sixth in women's bodybuilding, like I said. And then before then, she did the Rising Phoenix, where she placed third, which is pretty much the premier show for women's bodybuilding before the Miss Olympia returned just a few years ago. And then she got her Olympia qualification at the Atlanta Pro, as you can see right there. So really excited to see, what she's going to be doing this year. She's only 27. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, ladies and gentlemen, but 27 years old and already in the conversation for, one of the top female bodybuilders in the league right now. And it just really, it speaks to the direction that women's bodybuilding is going. Obviously, she isn't the smallest on stage. She seems short. I'm not exactly sure how tall she is, but great physique. And, when I was making this video, I was thinking this has to be one of the best backs I've ever seen when it comes to women's bodybuilding. And, debatably, you're going to see it in just a second as we conclude this video. What I thought and what you might think from the back is, I think that her back is comparable to some of the top guys out there in pro bodybuilding. And of course, that's probably a ludicrous comment from, I'm sure some of you might think, but I genuinely think she has a phenomenal structure. And I think she's very much reaching that upper echelons of possibility. And to think that she's been able to do that at only 27, under 30 years old, I think is just phenomenal. So I did want to give her a plug, and I look forward to seeing what she's going to be doing this year in 2023. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network. I'm your host, Josh Sanch. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.